Leadership Masterclass coming up.
See, if you really want to develop yourself as a leader, particularly as a woman, you need to invest in your
The organizations get benefits from strong mentorship and organizational culture if you are able to increase the engagements and then you grow individuals within the line.
Hello, everyone. Happy New Year. Good morning, good evening, good afternoon, depending on wherever you find yourself on the globe. We are streaming live from Ghana, so actually it's evening here. Once again, this is a global leadership. Once again, this is Global Leadership Group. We come your way every month, the last Sunday of the month, with creme de la creme resource persons, and our aim is to build capacity of leaders in, all walks of life. It could be religious groups, it could be corporate environments, education, all. Yeah, so that is what we do. So once again, this evening, we are talking on strategic leadership planning for 2026. We are all aware that we have ended the first quarter of the month already, all too soon. But then, what have you done as a leader? What have you done so far? What should you be thinking about that you did not think about? Or those that you have thought of and planned? How is it going? How did the first quarter go? And all that. So, to help us digest very well into this all important topic, we have once again been able to bring on board two wonderful, in fact, very experienced leaders in their various fields. We have Madam Yvette Anderson, we have Reverend Ikuya Kankam. I will let them introduce themselves to us. We'll start from Reverend Ikuya Kankam.
All right. Thank you very much, Happy. And good evening to our lovely.
Please, we can't. No, we can't hear you.
Oh, hello. Good.
No.
Thank you very much, Happy.
We can't hear you.
Thank you very much, Happy.
No.
And good evening.
We still cannot hear you.
Okay.
Reverend's line, I think the volume. Yes. Okay. So I think whilst Reverend's line is being fixed, Madam Yvette Anderson would introduce herself to us. Hello.
Okay. Thank you so much, Madam Happy. Can you hear me? You can't hear me. Can you hear me?
Mm-mm. We can't hear you.
You can't hear me, but I can hear you very
No.
well. You can't hear me. Okay.
Okay. Let's try Reverend can come and see whilst Madam Yvette
Yes.
works on her volume too. I don't know what's happening, unfortunately.
Okay. Happy, can you hear me now?
No. What's going
Um,
Hello. Hello.
Yes.
Hello,
Hello.
Reverend.
hi.
Can you hear
Hi.
me? Yvette, can you hear me?
Yes, please, Reverend. I can hear you. Reverend, can you hear me?
Can hear you clearly. I can hear Happy clearly.
Okay. So, Madam Happy, you're the only one who can't hear us. We can hear you and we can hear
Hello.
each other.
Please, can you hear me?
Yes.
Leadership Masterclass coming up.
See, if you really want to develop yourself as a leader, particularly as a woman, you need to invest in your
Actually, organizations just benefits from strong mentorship and leadership culture if you are able to increase the engagements and then you grow individuals within the line.
Leadership Masterclass coming up.
See, if you really want to develop yourself as a leader, particularly as a woman, you need to invest in your
The organizations yes benefits from strong mentorship and entrepreneurship culture if you are able to increase the engagement and then you grow individuals within the line.
Yeah. Hello. Yeah, sorry for I think, I'm sure it's some technical hitches here and there, but it will come on. Yes. So, picking up from where we left, Reverend Kankam was introducing herself. Yeah. So, Reverend, please, we are all ears.
Okay. Thank you very much, Happy.
Yes, I hear you now. Great. Great.
Very great. Very great to hear that.
Yeah.
Okay, so I am a fractional HR and career coach. Have over 17 years experience in managing and shaping strategy across various sectors of the economy. I've worked in banking, worked in telecommunications, consulting, transport, and over the years, I've worked with senior leaders and various employees at various levels to help them shape and manage expectations and outcomes for businesses or companies alike. Currently, I work with SMEs and then professionals. With SMEs or startup, I help them build or establish their HR and function or attend to any HR issues that they would like me to sit with for them. And for career coaching, I coach professionals to realize their potentials or to be able to navigate their workplace better and yield the kind of results that meets their potential. I'm a certified HR consultant. I also got an MBA in finance. I say I'm an HR person with a finance mind. When I'm not doing all these things, I'm a Reverend Minister at one of the branches of the Victory Bible Church International. And then for leisure, I like going to the beach. So tomorrow being a holiday, you'll find me at the beach. So in case you see me, you can say hello to me. All right. Thank you very much.
Wow. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Reverend. That's a very good one. Thank you. Thank you. We are very happy to have you here. We are very pleased to have you here, Reverend. Thank you.
Thank you very much. Thank you for having me.
Sure. Okay. So our next guest speaker is Madam Yvette Anderson.
Yes.
Yes.
Thank
Hello,
you so much
Madam
for
Yvette.
having me. Can you hear
Sure.
me?
Yes, please, I can.
Can you hear
Yes.
me? Okay.
Yeah.
So I am an insurance professional, a chartered insurer, and an associate with the Chartered Insurance Institute of Ghana. I love many things. Insurance is one of the many things I like to indulge in. So I'm also the financial controller of the Young Insurance Professionals Africa, the Ghana chapter. And so we are a group of young people, or young at heart, who are very passionate about insurance. And so outside the insurance world, I'm the convener of a little group. It's called Vessels Set Apart for Wonders. We are young ladies who pursue the things of God, so prayer and all that, yes. And I love to get people together let people to have a good mindset about themselves to start with, so that we can connect as result-oriented people, is holding the hands of one another and building a brighter future. That's just to say a little about myself. Thank you.
Great, 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 great. So, viewers, you see, we have two wonderful ladies who are going to help us navigate and know all that we need to know as leaders to be able to do our strategic leadership planning for the year 2026. Like I said, one quarter or first quarter is already gone. So from these our discussions, you see what you should have thought of, or even if you are yet to think about it, how you can navigate and then be able to get to your end of year goals successfully. Mhm. All right. So my first question goes to Reverend. Reverend, um, what single most important mindset shift our leaders? Please, can you hear me? Please, can you hear me, Reverend?
Yes,
Okay,
I can hear you clearly.
great, great. So, what single most important mindset shifts are leaders most likely to adapt with 2026 that just kick-started? We've ended first quarter though. Yeah.
Okay, thank you very much. First of all, I'd like to say that as in the corporate environment, as the new year starts, one of the things that leaders are looking out for is to have their vision for the year, and not just the high-end vision, but also how they are able to navigate the day-to-day operations of their organizations to be able to meet expected outcome. But then again, in the environment in which every business operates, there are uncertainties. So leadership has to have the ability to be able to manage um, these two aspects of their business, where they have a vision, they want an outcome, but of course they're also working in an environment that is not very stable, especially looking at what is happening currently in our world. Because whatever you would have envisaged from the beginning of the year, just first quarter, things are rapidly changing. We have an almost war on our hands, and leaders need to be able to navigate it. And to be able to do that, they should be able to manage their vision, looking at their current resources, the culture that they have, and the teams that they are managing, to be able to create a competitive advantage in the marketplace for the organizations, or to help their organizations compete better. So leaders, as the year progresses, one single mindset that they have to have is the ability to be adaptable to whatever plans that they have and the changing economic terrain that they find themselves. Looking at, like I said earlier, the resources they have available, their goals or their long-term vision, the resources they have available, their culture, and then their team, mixing them together to achieve a competitive advantage that helps them compete well in the marketplace. Thank you.
Okay. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Reverend. So, please, I just want to ask. So, how about their technology and AI these days? That is, I mean, right now is the new thing. If you dodge, it's like you cannot succeed. You know, especially in environment that we have a lot of Gen Zs and even grown-ups like me. Right now, you are. It's like you better get used to that. You know. So, do you have any word for us that you have any?
Okay.
Yeah.
AI or technology has come to stay,
Yeah.
and nobody would do themselves any service, or people will do themselves the service when they run away from AI. as we are aware, when technology is introduced, there are the early adapters, the mid adapters, and the late adapters. Normally, the young ones, as I said, are those who, because it's in their time and their season, they are able to adapt as faster than the older generation. We live in an unprecedented time where it is said that there are about almost 3 to 5 generations at the workplace. And the older generation definitely will fall disadvantage to the new generations or the Gen Zs, as we see today. So with AI, a company cannot run away from it. A company has to have a strategy to ensure that everybody along, or their team members, every team member is assimilated in using AI to help them achieve better organizational outcomes or goals. Leadership must be very conscious to ensure and assure their employees or their team members of what aspects of their businesses will rapidly change because of AI assimilation or adoption, and the ones that will not. And for those who be affected with the rapid adoption, what can be done to ensure that nobody is nobody's disadvantaged? Because no matter what, human, even though technology or AI will help us do things faster, the decision making is made and done by humans, and that one, no one can take it away from humans. An experience, for example, taking my field, an experienced HR person cannot be compared to an AI, even though AI can automate various aspects of our work. And an experienced HR person can be able to talk about culture, talk about team, how to create a team that gives a competitive advantage to the institution. So leadership has to be conscious about it and systematically take people along the journey. So what are some of the practical ways they can do? They can identify employees or team members who are technologically savvy and train them and use them as spokes to train the larger employee pool. They can create teams where various generations come together so they can learn from one another. One thing to them must be very clear is that sometimes people resist change because they feel somebody else is taking their role from them. But the more you resist, the more you shoot yourself in the foot, and the more you show that you are not apt for the change and can affect how you are treated at the workplace. So when people are given safe, they are assured, they understand that they'll be helped to be able to assimilate technology. They will trust the system and go with the system and be willing to learn, even if the one teaching them is a Gen Z. The most important thing is that the knowledge is disseminated in the organization. And if people are made to understand, it doesn't matter. Because sometimes you can be the CEO, but it is that young man who understands the technology better. And it is nothing away from you as the CEO or the leader to learn from that young man. And that is all that I would say.
Okay. Yeah. All right. Thank you so much. Thank you so
Thank
much.
you.
That was really loaded. Thank you so much.
Thank
So,
you.
yeah. So, Madam Yvette. Hello. Hello, Madam Yvette.
Madam
Okay.
Happy.
Yes. All right. So, please,
Yes.
I would like to hear your side or hear from you on the single most important mindset shift that leaders are most likely to adapt with the 2026 year has kick-started. One quarter is gone, but then, well, what do you think we should do
Yes,
in
I
terms of
think
people, culture, technology, and all that? So what do you think they
yes.
should do?
Can you hear me please?
Yes, very well.
Okay.
Very
So
well.
I would like to say that leadership should look at the definition of culture in an environment, just as Reverend has spoken extensively on AI and technology. And so now you're going to have leadership which is not necessarily within the length of time bracket. You have very young people serving on managerial roles, as well as you have well experienced people who may be middle aged or in 50s and all that. So you need to build a culture that embraces, should I say this, diverse generations that are serving for the common goal or purpose of the organization. And so to do that, each person needs to have the psychological safety. So communication, there should be transparency. It shouldn't sound as though this communique is in favor of the older ones or the younger ones. When you build psychological safety, you are assured of high output. Productivity is on the rise because each person has that ease of mind that we are all needed in this success story. But whereby there's sort of a struggle between the younger and older generation. The younger is bringing the AI and all the technology, and then the older generation is also coming with the experience. And so where you don't have a platform where you bridge this gap, there'll always be a struggle, and you need both ends to make your story more successful. And so leadership should take a look at that, redefining organizational structure, throwing the highlights on communication, and you should have supportive leadership. We don't want leadership that seems detached from the daily lives of their employees. And so one of your employees loses a dear one. We don't want to get to work and it's like it's back to business. We are here to make money. Please don't come here with your sentiments and emotions. That is not going to define an environment which is psychologically safe for your employees. Thereby, even your best worker will not be given the best results or outcome. In this generation we find ourselves, which is so much driven by technology and AI, it is in the best interest of leadership to have a safe psychological environment for their employees and even managers as well. And one thing about maybe should I say the Ghanaian industry or corporate body, we have a lot of loose ends when it comes to feedback. You don't necessarily have to do the review annually or semi-annually. It should be as frequent as often as the end of a day, because customers, depending on the business that you are giving or the service that you are rendering, customers always want to have satisfaction. And so when things have evolved, maybe there's the introduction of certain marketing skills which they are seeing with your competitors. If you're going to wait till the end of the year, by then even your competitors would have introduced 8 to 10 more skills and you'll be found wanting. And so the culture of the organization must be redefined in this generation or era we find ourselves in. If we stick to the mundane and say that, oh, this is how it is done, or this is how we have always done it, and so we are not going to look to the left or the right, so that we have the best outcome from each key player, right from the top to the bottom. The cleaner is ensuring that everywhere is looking good. At the top to the board is making sure that policies are being implemented that will ensure employee growth, safety, financially, on all ends. And that's one factor I would like to talk about, Madam Happy, on the mindset that must shift with leadership, yes, in the second quarter and beyond. Thank you.
Thank you so much. That's so profound. So profound. Thank you so much. How about decision making? Decision making, as in leaders making decision. What decision making process do you think they should adapt that will assist them? What's like What are some of them?
Yes,
Which yeah.
Madam Happy, is that to me,
Yes.
please?
Yes,
Okay,
please.
so you should have like a sort of a model. Which model are you using to take decisions? You can start by defining the problem or identifying the problem, the criteria you'd want to use to judge possible solutions. And you need to look at it in a matter of urgency. You can't put all the decisions in one bottle. If you are a manufacturing company and you are told today that one of your machines has broken down, you can't say that you are waiting to have another board meeting to decide on how the machine will be fixed. No, that means that
Yes.
you're going to lose about a week to a month's profits. Such decisions are very urgent. And so, almost immediately, you need to.
Hello. I think I think Lady Lady Yvette's network connectivity has dropped a bit. So hello. Hello, Madam Yvette. Okay, so I'll move to Reverend Equia can come. Hello, Reverend. Hello, Reverend.
Ellie, hello, happy, I can hear you.
Okay, great,
Mhm.
great. So I was asking Madam Yvette about decision making, like decision making, what leadership decision making process can be adapted. Like what models do you think they can adapt to help them?
Okay.
Yes.
I think like so as Yvette was saying, decision making in today's world or in 2026, leaders need to make structured decision, but they must be flexible because of the changing times or how fast things are changing now, um, and be abreast with what is happening. But like again, decisions ought to be made within a structure. Leaders do not need to just be reactive. A leader should be able to be proactive. Of course, you cannot predict everything, but even if it comes to meet you, you need to be able to have your system. What is your system? Ability to define the problem that you are going to be solving. But sometimes the problems are not well defined and it doesn't really help anybody. So we should be able to define the problems and ensure that we are solving the right problem at the right time and not the wrong problem at the right time. So we should be able to identify the decisions that we are going to take or the criteria we're going to use to um, define the problem or the decision, define the problem upfront. We need to know what should we include. Is it a people decision? Is it a cost decision? Is it a resource decision? Is it a culture decision? Because all these things need to be defined so that you can be able to have a good mix and be able to address it well. For an example, if it's a culture um, decision that we are taking, is it a bottom up decision? Are we only addressing a certain part of culture in the organization? Or we're going to do a holistic addressing of the culture in the organization? And then we want to also prioritize the kind of criteria that you're having. Of course, everything cannot be prioritized. You must have the 2 or 3 key things that you're going to prioritize when it comes to the problem that you're going to solve. If it is a resource um, problem that you are solving, what kind of resource are you going to go for? Looking at the kind of cost involved. So if you prioritize, you know from the word go that this area cost we can afford, this cost we cannot touch. So leaders need to be able to properly define or prioritize the criteria that they've assembled together, and then be able to also generate multiple alternatives. Okay, wisdom does not dwell in one person's mind. Alternatives or model the outcome that you're looking out for. That if we take decision and this outcome comes, are we ready for it? Or would we rather go for this other alternatives? And of course, opportunity cost will come in. Because if I go for A, it means that I'm leaving out B, and the benefits from taking B cannot inure to me. But if the leaders are set in their minds that we want to go for A, and the results from A come, we will not go and blame somebody for not getting a result that only B would have given to you. I hope you're on the same page. And then be able to evaluate the various decisions too. Evaluation is very important. Yvette called it feedback. Whatever that you are doing, be asking for feedback. Evaluate as you go along. Sometimes if you wait to evaluate at the latter end, you may have missed a point along. So as the decisions are being made, evaluations must be made. And evaluations also means it gives us feedback. Are we willing to take the feedbacks from the decisions that we are taking? And leaders should be able to carry their teams along in these decisions. Sometimes leaders just take the decisions and leave their teams in the dark, and they expect the teams to be able to solve the problem when they were not appraised of the decision or the outcome that they are looking for. It creates a disconnect. It creates pressure or tension between leadership and the team. But if leaders carry the team along, it's easier for everybody. And everybody with one vision and one goal, everybody puts their hands on deck, and then they are able to work together. And communication. Leaders should be able to communicate what they are looking for. Ambiguity is very costly for organizations. If leaders want A, they should say A. Yvette will say that, or like she said, in our Ghanaian setting, sometimes leaders are speaking, they know they mean B, but they are saying A. That's what I'm saying, and I'm happy to be able to relate. I worked at a place there was board goals and then organizational goals, and a different target to be given to the board, a different target to be given to the organization. And the team will be whipped to do a lot of things to achieve the outcomes. And they'll be told, but at the board level, leaders have been able to convince the board that they've met their goals, but they are telling employees that they didn't meet their goals. That's a disconnect. That is trying to play a fast one. So everybody should be on the same page to get the best from one another. I think will help. And evaluate quarterly, monthly, weekly, set timelines to be able to evaluate and give feedback quickly, so that you can be able to run with the times and the changing things that are happening. If it's urgent and it's very important to the company, evaluation or review of it should be quickly, so that nothing is left hanging. That's all I'll say to it. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Reverend. What you said are very, very true. Leaders who take the decisions, take all the strategic decisions, and now breaking it down, or communicating to their team members so that they can run along with them or get their buy-in into, because they will be implementing the ideas anyway. We don't seem to have that very well, or even if it's done, how sure are they that every point is well taken and all the tools they need to be able to deliver those expectations have been provided to them? Sometimes the decisions are taken, very nice decisions, very nice targets are set. But then as leaders, you need to find out whether they have the necessary goals, the necessary inputs or tools, or they have the required training, skill set to be able to deliver these goals. So all what you said are very true. And also, like Lady Yvette said, and you also hammered the same point, is the feedback. So whether on quarterly basis or on yearly basis or monthly basis, so that we know where there are hitches, and then we see how to handle them. Thank you so much. Thank you so much, Reverend. So Sorry, my next question goes to Lady Yvette. Hello. Please, please, I hope you are back. Okay. So, what indicators should leaders use to measure whether their 2026 leadership strategy is actually working? I'll take it again. What indicators should leaders use to measure whether their 2026 leadership strategy is actually working? Lady Yvette? Hello. Please, are you there? I think her network. Hello. Yeah, I think her network has challenges. Yeah.
Oh,
Okay.
yes.
Yes. So yes. So Reverend, please can you share your thoughts on that, like measurement and success? What indicators should leaders use to measure whether their 2026 leadership strategy is actually working or not? Yeah.
I'll say leadership, of course. We have the traditional measurement of business outcomes and execution. So we have the usual financial measurements. The finance people call it the bottom line. And that's one of the things leaders use to measure how well their strategy is working. Operational efficiency, you can mention that how well the business is being run to effectively use their resources to produce the necessary outcomes for their company. They look at customer service, complaints, or whatever that is, customer service and revenue, all those. These are the traditional ones. But then when you're moving on to, you need to look at people and culture. Because so far as we talk about leadership and leadership goals and strategy for the year, people and culture is very key for leaders to have a look at. Most times, leaders don't look at the fact that their people and the kind of culture in which they are working or the environment in which they find themselves are signals that ultimately affect their productivity. And again, to even add up to it, not just people and culture, but or performance, but also using employee well-being as an enabler to ensure that performance is being, or productivity or performance of their organization are being met. I would like to hammer a little on this aspect of employee well-being because it's very critical for leaders, especially in our times and age, when there are a lot of things going on. Emotional intelligence has been highly spoken about. The well-being or mental health has been highly spoken about, and most times it's treated as a different, as a soft skill or a soft and an add-on to actual performance. But where employees or leadership understand that the mental health of their workers or their employees or their team members affects how they show up at work, affects how their output or their performance, then you not only look at the hard factor, revenue and costs, customer service indicators, but you also look at the people, the employees. Are they in the right space? Do they have a right psychological safety to show up at work? Can employees or team members confidently share what they are going through when it comes to their well-being, when it comes to their emotions, so that they know that in this place, it will not be used against me and I can be able to get the right support. So in today's world, some organizations are not treating mental health or emotional intelligence as just one of those things, but they are providing counseling sessions. They are treating like a medical, you treat the body, medical checkups, because A healthy mind lives in a healthy body, you get a great output. So it's a very key indicator for leaders to begin to look at very well. When your people are not in the right mental space, it affects their output. Initially, you will not see, but they disengage slowly, and eventually it will show in their performance. So for me, again, as an HR person, I'm working or coaching professionals. I will advise leaders that the mental well-being of their team members be very key. It's an indicator for them to be able to measure performance. They should not just measure performance on the hardcore things, but they should also use as an enabling tool to help them. Because when people well-being is very taken care of, it will reduce absenteeism. It will reduce, the number of what word would I use? Sick leaves that are coming through to you. To reduce the number of people are taken, and eventually to affect your productivity. And then leadership, finally, leadership capability. What kind of leaders are organizations training? I think earlier you spoke about how are you training your leaders, your C-suite, your middle level, even your supervisors. Sometimes the C-suite are given all the tools. They are taking to the choices of training, and the middle level are just managing by, but they actually help implement, like you said earlier. So what eyes are we looking at for them? Because this emotional intelligence and mental health I'm talking about, managers should be able to spot it and be able to address it. But sometimes they don't have the know-how, and because of that, they are not able to address it. Sometimes some resignations are not because people don't want to work with organizations, but because of leaders or managers who don't have emotional intelligence, who are perceived not to care about the mental health of their team members, cause people to want to leave the organization. So you realize that, and the top tier is there, the middle level to be there, but the larger base, they're always going. They're always leaving. And you are wondering why. So leaders, CEOs, C-suite members, and team leads, train them, look for a good budget. So, or they say, train you are just wasting our time. There was a leader, the saying that somebody exclaimed to a leader, CEO, that why are we spending so much money to train their workforce? Said, what if you don't train them? What if you don't give them the right resources? Your company will not be sustainable in the long term, and you cannot compete in the marketplace. And competition is very tight in today's world. So that's all that I would say. That these are the indicators leaders should look at and then work with. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much, Reverend. Thank you so much. So we are going on a short break, after which we'll come back. Thank you.
Leadership Masterclass coming up.
Yeah, welcome back. So, Lady Yvette, please, I would like to hear your side of this too. Like, what indicators should leaders use to measure whether their 2026 leadership strategy is actually working or not? Yeah,
Okay, to add to what Reverend Kankam
Reverend.
said,
Yes, please.
yes, mainly we focus on people, culture, growth, and people, both internal and external customers. I think she said extensively on even the psychological state of your employees. If they have that good state of mind, they are going to give good outcome. You're not going to have people frequenting the health facilities every now and then. Also for the external customers, I mean, you want to know that if you are a manufacturing company, your products are getting out there, they are satisfying them in the manner which they perceived, or purpose is serving just as it is mentioned. Sometimes some products will be advertised and you purchase it and you're wondering, was it really said that it will make my dough rise because my dough has fallen in? And so you want to look at the people focus in two ways, both internally and externally, ensuring that your internal customers, which are your employees, are well taken care of as much as your external customers are satisfied with the services and products that you provide. And we will touch on culture one more time. We want management that realizes talent, appreciates it, and ensures that it is developed. I remember as far back as class 4, many years ago, there was a gentleman in my class and he could make items out of rubber. And our then headmistress was so excited by his exceptional skill. And I think he was awarded. And today, as we speak, he doesn't do corporate work. He's solely an artist. I mean, he can do whether you want to stencil, you want it painted, and that is essential. When you identify talent, it is innate. The individual would want to go the extra mile because management has recognized that extraordinary thing about them. And so we like Madam said, Reverend said, sometimes people are putting in their very best. You see leaders go for all the board meetings and managerial meetings. Instead of coming to give that positive feedback to the employees, they'll rather come and give the reverse. And so they are sort of discouraged. And at the end of the day, it's a company that suffers. And so we want a culture that is not only about what is done at the top, but the least activity which makes the organization shine is also recognized. And we want to talk about growth. We talk a little bit about feedback and in terms of seasons, whether monthly, annually, semi-quarterly, but we want a 360-degree feedback so that no stone is left unturned in this highly competitive world that we find ourselves in. If you are an organization that you are not interested in how far it is going or how well it is going, you definitely be left behind. Because I had wanted to mention in the decision making that have alternatives, especially if you're a marketing company. Don't just have plan A and then you sleep on plan A. Whilst you have plan A going very well for you, have plan B, C, D, E, F, just in case along the way, along the journey, it doesn't work out because of a competitor that emerged from nowhere. You have something to also curb that situation. And so the focus area, the three main areas that I would like to touch on briefly because of time, summarizes is people, culture, and growth. Thank you so much, Madam Happy.
Thank you. Thank you, Lady Eve. Thank you so, so much. In fact, I'm really enjoying the program and our viewers too. I'll read a few comments. So, In God We Trust says he's watching from the USA, Data Link site. Great speakers. A leader must be able to adapt to changes. Thank you, Reverend. In God We Trust says leaders must learn from others. Very important. Great piece, Reverend. Then we said The organization must redefine their culture. That is very important. Thank you, Yvette. Then Data Link said, leaders need good feedback. Thank you. And then he says, thank you. Leaders need to train their team. Thank you so much. These are some of our some comments from some of our viewers. Yeah. So I would like to find out from Reverend if you could give one practical piece of advice to leaders watching this program, as they have I mean, by this time they have most of them have already planned their 2026 strategy, but then those who haven't planned, and even those who have planned, so that probably they can look at it and review what they've done. What would it be?
Okay. I'll say that leaders should be interested in building and also improving on their response times. What should they build? Leaders should build on their processes, they should build their people and the mindset of both their people and themselves. Because when you're able to build a good process, if you're able to build your people to the levels that they are able to respond to issues as they come up and their mindset, then all will inure to the benefits of the organization. Again, leaders should be those who are learning, relearning, or let's say unlearning, learning and then relearning, because the world is moving fast. Knowledge does not dwell in one person's mind. Today's guru becomes a learner tomorrow. Leaders should not utilize their resources, especially their people, very well. Nobody is a bad resource. It's how you use that resource that determines whether it's good for you or not. So leaders should bring their teams along and be able to identify strengths and weaknesses and use it to help them build competitive advantage for their organizations. Thank you.
Thank you. Thank you so much, Reverend. Thank you. So, Lady Yvette, what would be your closing reflection, as in what piece of advice or practical piece of advice you like to give to leaders watching us, as to how they'll plan or review their... You can't hear. Hello?
When I'm happy.
Yes, please.
Can I have that again? Can I have the question again?
Okay. So I was asking that as part of your closing reflection, what practical piece of advice will you give to leaders watching our program as they've already planned, or they want to review their strategic plan for the year? What advice would you give to them? I think the network has gone again. Hello. Hello.
She's back or she's gone?
No, she's not back.
No, she's not back.
Hello.
Can you hear me? Yes, can you hear me?
Yes, I can hear you.
Okay. I would like to say that for 2026 and even beyond, strategic leadership should be about balance. And so not being a champion in one regard and then being a total loser in another. So we should have a balance where we have high-tech AI, nonetheless is deeply human. So you have AI doing all the great stuff, the advertisements, working efficiently for you. But for the feedback where customers need that emotional touch, AI can't do it for you. So you cannot take out the human side completely. If someone's house got bent using your appliance, you can't have AI go answer that. You need to send a human team to the site, and so that you can empathize and do the human side of it. And also for the prompt decision making, even though we want businesses to thrive and survive and then increase, we also need to make judgment that is ethical judgment that make employees and customers alike satisfied, judgment that gives hope in the business that is being run. And so we wouldn't want to just look at decision making and then be cut off from other factors that matter. And we also want to look at being innovative, nonetheless, sustaining objectives that have made the business stand. You can't go innovative and then take out a whole business approach, an approach that has brought in at least 50% of your customers. You cannot say in the name of innovation, you totally take that out. That means that you'll be losing 50% of your customers, because the customers, each person and what draws them in or what attracts them to your product, your business. And so we must be innovative. Nonetheless, we should look at sustaining what works for us. Thank you, Madam Happy.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. Thank you so much. In fact, all since we've done an hour. In fact, I wish we have like another hour to go because Reverend Ekia, you've given us a lot. I'm very sure once I've also learned a lot, our viewers have also learned a lot, and it's going to go a long way to help us shape decisions, shape our strategy. I mean, we've learned so many. I've jotted so many things down. I want to talk about them: processes, mindset, balance, AI, feedback. So many things. I've listed a whole page of them. Thank you so much. I'm sure our viewers too have listed a lot. God bless you for making time out of your very busy schedules to come on our program and, in fact, give us all these. We are so grateful as a leadership group, and Oliver Twist will certainly ask. So when I come calling you, I pray you make time for us again. And thank you so much to our viewers. I'm sure you have learned a lot from this, and it will help you move your various organizations forward. Until next month, same time, it's goodbye from Global Leadership Group. Thank you.
Leadership Masterclass coming up.